Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Today we are making one of my favorite dishes. We are making it from none other than Miss Dolly and Rachel Parton's cookbook. We are doing their sloppy dogs. It's kind of a combo of sloppy joes and hot dogs combined, and it is yum, yum, yum. If y'all have this cookbook, or have you seen this cookbook? It's been out for a little while. If y'all can see that very well or not. It is really, really, really good. Now I have changed it just a little bit, just because I've made this probably about 15, 16 different times, and I need to change it up. Now it calls for 1 pound. I'm doubling this recipe. I'm gonna tell you all the original recipe, and then if I changed anything, I'll tell you that. But I'm doing a double batch. So if you see it looks like a lot for something, well, it's because I doubled it. I'll put this lid out. Two things that Tennessee's known for: the Parton family and Lodge cast iron. So we are using our exclusive Lodge enamel Dutch oven from the Walmart. There's no promotion for them, just that's where we got it at. Just so y'all know, this is the one we're using. I have already cooked the hamburger, and I did 2 pounds, and it is 80-20 ground beef. And to that, we're gonna start adding the good stuff. We are gonna go with a teaspoon of salt, and then we are doing a teaspoon of black pepper, and then we are doing chicken broth. Now this is one thing that I change on the recipe. It says for one batch do 3/4 of a cup, save 1/4 of a cup for cooking the meat with. I don't do that because that's the reason I don't do it no more, is because the first time a couple times I done it that way, you really just pull, you drain the grease and stuff off the 80-20 hamburger, you throw it away. So I just cut it down to 1/2 and just go with that instead. And it just makes it easier. You're not wasting any good chicken broth that way. So we're gonna get that in there. Stir that up just a little bit. Go ahead and turn this bad boy on, just so it's starting to warm up. All right, we got that chicken broth in there. And then we are adding ketchup. It's 1 cup of ketchup. As you know, mine's a lot. Mine's a little more. Put that in there. Spatula. Make sure I get all of that out of there. This recipe is really good. Dolly and Rachel talk about it here in the cookbook. They do it in the fall. I've made it in the fall, I've made it in the spring, now we're making it in the summer. So you just kind of make it whenever you want. It's really good. It's not one of those recipes I don't think you have to do it at a certain time. And then we're using a 1.5 teaspoons of Wash Your Sister in the Shower sauce. Y'all can say how you want to say that one. We'll move on. All right, and then it is mustard, and it is a teaspoon. Forgot to tell you on that part. And let's see, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Put that in there, and then it looks like 1 teaspoon chili powder. And we're going with a teaspoon of granulated garlic powder. We are doing, or 1/2 teaspoon of granulated garlic powder. Sorry, 1/2 teaspoon. I forgot. I was just reading that right off and about to give y'all my dose of it. And then it's a 1/2 teaspoon onion powder. And then it is a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Mix all this out. Make sure it's all in there. And then one thing that I already did do, it calls for 1/2 of bell pepper, green bell pepper, or mango for us Appalachian folks, and then a 1/2 of an onion. I've already cooked it, and this is one other thing that I did do. I added, I had 2 jalapeno peppers, and I just tossed them in there with it and already cooked them as well. That's already been cooked. Now mix this up. How's y'all's weather doing? Up here where we are feeling the, well, it was hot and it finally did cool down just a little bit. we are really, really getting smoked. The other day it was so bad. My friend, you know, I talk about Arturo all the time. He just lives right down the street from us. I couldn't even see his front door from my house, and normally I could see it. And it was so smoky out there. It was like heavy dew fog up in the mountains down home in Tennessee. It was crazy thick here. Kind of makes me sad because I know what most of my friends and family went through in Sevier County years ago, back in 2016 when we caught on fire and the mountains were burning. So I feel bad for those folks up in Canada. I have to go through that and lose their homes and be displaced. It's kind of rough. All right, we've got all that in there. Now Dolly says let it simmer, or Rachel, whichever one. I think this is actually Rachel's recipe in this book. But they say let this simmer for about an hour. I always do like 2 hours just because I think it needs it. And then once you get everything mixed in, they say add Nathan's hot dogs. They always say 8. Well, I'm using Conn's hot dogs. I don't like beef hot dogs. I don't like the taste of them. I just think they're greasy feeling. I don't know. That's me. Y'all use whichever brand of hot dogs you want. I'm not using Nathan's. I'm using good old Conn's. I don't really care. Use whichever one you choose. We are going to put that there, and we are just going to let that baby slow simmer, uncovered. I'm going 2 hours. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit and just let it sit there and simmer. And what that does, it gives those hot dogs time to marry in with the Sloppy Joe mix, and it is so good. So we're going to let that simmer, and then we'll be back here once they're done and ready to go, and then we'll plate it up and we'll give it a big old try. We are back with Dolly and Rachel Parton's famous sloppy dogs. Now I did not cook them with this lid on. Do not do that because you don't want it to get a bunch of moisture build up. I just stuck the lid on here just to bring it over here so y'all can see it. All right, let's give this baby a try. Look at that. Can y'all see that? Now, I did let mine go 2 hours on low simmer because I think it needs that. Now, in the cookbook, it actually tells you, this right here, they say 17 minutes, 15 to 17 minutes. I was originally under the impression, I thought it said an hour. I've always done 2 hours because if you do it 17 minutes, let me just tell y'all, it is not gonna be great. Let it simmer for at least an hour to 2 hours. And now if you wanted to make this early in the morning, get all the stuff ready and then dump it in your slow cooker, put it on low for 4 to 8 hours, it'll be perfect. Because you could easily convert this recipe over to a slow cooker. It doesn't say that in the book, but I know you can make it. Especially y'all got kids in sports, or if you got a job you gotta go do, you're gonna be gone all day, you just need a quick dinner when you come home that night. Yep, you can easily do this. Now in the cookbook and my son both, they like to put it on hot dog buns. Andre and I do not. We just eat it just like this. We dip us out a couple hot dogs, and then we just pour this stuff right over the top of them like that. Sometimes I will take a little extra onion and some mustard, put it on there, kind of give it a little more twang. I need to get a fork out, hold on. There we go. And then sometimes, I usually put cheese on it sometimes too. There's 2 recipes in this cookbook that I give a 20+ star to, and this is one of them. The other one is Dolly and them's meatloaf. Now Dolly and them say they serve this on trick or treat night at Rachel's house. That's what it says in the cookbook. I didn't make that up. I think you can serve it anytime, especially if you got a crowd to feed, some young kids coming over after a sports game. This would be the perfect thing to feed them. Let me tell you, it is so yummy, and it's homemade, so you can't go wrong. Ain't it's from Aunt Granny. You know it's gonna be good. All right, y'all. Have you tried this? Would you try it? Do you have the cookbook? If you have the cookbook, what are your favorite recipes in this book? Dolly's got one from years ago that's a Dollywood exclusive that they printed up with a bunch of Dollywood team members. I have that one. And then I have Dolly's other one, Dixie Fixin'. I use that one a lot too. This one's got a few in here that I like. Two main ones, and that's probably about it. Some of this stuff's not for me, but I love the cookbook, and you know, anything you support Dolly with, you know, she loves that. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go eat the rest of my dinner. What are y'all having for dinner? Let me know. Let me know if you try this. If you don't, what would you change on it if you did?